So in drafting out your peplum top, first of all you have to determine the full length of the peplum top. And the full length of this peplum top is going to be 23 inches. When you've determined that, you are going to go ahead first of all to cut out your half cut. And this is what we are going to do first. In cutting out your half cut, what is the half cut? What is half cut? Half cut is from the shoulder down to 2 inches above the belly button. So that half cut is going to serve as the waistline. So here, when you must have ascertained this, you are now going to begin drafting out the half cut. The full length of the peplum blouse we want to cut out now is 23 inches. So 23 inches, I'm going to subtract the half cut from 23 inches. So the half cut of this person is from the shoulder to a place to 2 inches above the navel or belly button is 14 inches. Hello viewers, you're welcome to my channel. I'm saying a very big thank you to all my subscribers, old and new ones, prospective ones. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for always sharing. Thank you for always commenting. I'm really proud of what you are doing. Today we are going to learn how to draft and cut and sew a peplum top. Stay tuned. So already our material is on fold, just like I explained. So I'm going to go ahead on the shoulder line, mark out the person's shoulder. The person's shoulder is 14 inches. Divided by 2 will give you 7. So I'm going to go ahead and mark 7 on the shoulder line. So from this 7, I'm also going to mark out the neck width. The neck width is 3 inches. And then the neck depth is 4 inches. I'm going to form a box with it. So these are neck box. I'm not going to touch this place until I'm ready to design the neck. So the next thing now is to have our shoulder slope. So when you come down by ½ an inch on where you marked 7, you now connect it to the neckline. Connect it to the neckline. So these are shoulder slope. Now we come to the bust line. The bust point, remember, is 9 inches from the shoulder line, or 10 inches, depending on how busty and how tall the person is. So for this person, I'm using 9 inches. So 9 inches from the shoulder line gives you your bust line. And then the next thing is to map out the bust measurement. The bust circumference of this person is 36 inches. I'm going to divide into 4. When I divide into 4, I'm going to have 9 inches. So I'm going to come to the bust line. And I'll mark 9 inches. And then I'll add sewing allowance, 2 inches sewing allowance, or just allowance. Then I'll go to my waistline, that is the half cut. You are going to measure the circumference round the person's half cut. And the circumference round this person's half cut is 32 inches. 32 inches divided by 4 will give you 8 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out 8 inches. I'm also going to add 1 inch for our allowance. Remember, you place, so for your dart, that is that allowance. You place your dart allowance on the waistline. And then you can go ahead to also add your 2 inches sewing allowance. And that is it. So the next thing now is to get our armhole. So to get your armhole, first of all, you divide the person's measurement into two. This will give you the armhole depth. So this person's shoulder measurement is 14. Divided by 2 will give you 7. So you come to this is where the shoulder is. You come to the shoulder line, the slanting line, not the first one. You go down by 7 inches. You draw a line to connect it. And then you can take it out to any length. The next thing now is come to this line, which is 7 inches. Find the middle, which is 3.5. This is the middle. And then remember, in my previous video, remember when we were learning how to draft out, remember the front panel for the blouse, the shoulder, the arm is deeper in front. That is, the armhole is deeper in front than the back. So you are going to come in again by at least half an inch. So I'm going to connect this point to this point using a curve. So that's that. You can use your French curve, but it's also good to learn how to do freehand because you might not have your French curve handy all the time. Having done that, we can now go ahead to connect our points. If you have any question, do well to leave it in the comment section and I will attend to it as soon as possible. Take it down. So the next thing is to cut out. Okay, before you cut out, you come back to the shoulder line. You give your joining allowance for the shoulders. If you don't do that, by the time you join your shoulders, the length will shorten. So you give at least 1 inch joining allowance from the shoulder line. Please, if you have any question, leave it in the comment section. I will attend to it as soon as possible. After doing this now, you sew it. After sewing, like I'll be turning in with a lining. When I'm done, we'll now come back for the peplum proper, cutting out the flay and the rest of that. So that's that. So we are going to cut right away. So we are going to cut right away. So the next one is to cut our back panel. Going to be a round neck. I like to cut the back panel first. You can decide to design the neck. It's just to curve it this way. Nothing much. So for the back panel, you fold your material again, and then the only difference between the front panel and the back panel is the zip allowance. I've told you before, the zip allowance is usually 1 inches to 2 inches or even 1.5. It's just the zip. You can even manage 1 inch. So we're going to go ahead to draft that out. You mark 1 inch, or you mark the zip allowance you want to make use of. You mark it down. That is, this 1.5. Make use of 1.5. There's nothing more. The next thing is just to draft out the rest. You can use a pin to hold it if your hand is not that strong, to prevent it from moving. So you cut out. That's all. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it in with a lining. Once I'm done with that, we'll continue with this. Now remember, while drafting the armhole of the front panel, we went in. So for the back, we went in by ½ an inch. For the back is usually not that deep, so I'm going to come out by that ½ an inch. So I gave it a little space, and that's that. Every other thing is the same. If you have a question, like I said, leave it in the comment section. So I'm going to step it together so that I can cut out the neck. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to turn in with the lining, and we are going to be back for our peplum. Okay, we are back from the sewing machine. I've turned in with a lining. I've also joined the shoulders. You can watch my video on how to join shoulder, just a few minutes video. And then I have applied the dart. So once I'm done with this, my half cut is ready. So the next thing to do is to cut out your peplum, and your peplum is actually your flame. So in cutting out your peplum, the measurement you are going to make use of is the remaining from the total measurement you made use of. A total measurement, like I told you earlier, is 23 inches. So the half cut is 14 inches plus 1 inch for joining allowance. That is joining allowance. And so the peplum is going to be at 9 inches. So that together you are going to have 23 inches for the blouse. So in cutting out your flay, you are going to choose how wavy you want your flay to be. How wavy will determine how many folds you are going to fold it. So I'm going to fold, we are going to cut out a 180-degree flay. We have 90 degrees, 180, 270, 360, and 720. So if you want it to be wavier, that is have many folds, those ripples, in peplum. If you want it to be much, then you can go as much as having a 360 or 270 or even 720-degree flay. So but this is going to be 180-degree flay. So we are going to fold. Just get enough material, because flay style usually takes much material. Just get enough. Like for this now, this material is 46 inches wide, 46 inches long. So it all depends on what you are, the length of what you want to cut out. The length we are looking towards having now is 10 inches or 11, so that you can have, there will be space to fold or to join rather, and then join, because I'm going to still turn in with the lining and then turn in with the lining, apply the gum stay, and then also join. So I will need that to at least 2 inches for that. So the material is already unfolded into 2. It's already unfolded into 2. The next thing now is to fold into 4. Just fold into 4. Into 4 equal parts. Just fold into 4 equal parts. So since it's going to be a 180 degrees flay, folding into 4 equal parts is enough. If you want about 360 degree flay circle, you are likely to fold into 8 to have a circle. Or even if you get a circle, you can divide into 2, because certainly you are going to open it up at the end of the day if you want, because at times you can just sew it round, just like when we were sewing the flay gown, the fitted and flay gown together. So this is already folded into 4. Now in your folding, there are 2 ways. This already into 4, rectangular. The shape is still rectangular. There's another way of folding, which I taught you. I'm just trying to remind you. As you folded into 2, you just fold the remaining. Like this, into a fan. Like this is a triangle. It's still the same thing. So, but I'm going to fold into 4. As I'm folding into 4, the folded parts, you have this folded into 2, this folded into 2, so you have 4 folds. So you have 4 folds here. The next thing to do is to get the circumference you have to work with, and the circumference you are going to work with is the circumference of the person's half-cut circumference. That is, you measure around the person's circumference. After measuring that, you also measure the half cut. You measure the half cut, the circumference of the half cut. You measure it from here to here. This is the zip allowance. You measure it from here to here. So the difference won't be much, because the circumference plus the zip allowance, for where, that is if you are measuring the material you've sewn, the half cut you've sewn, the circumference of the person plus the zip allowance, it will be advisable you make use of that one, just to ensure that everything is equal. So once you've ascertained the circumference you are going to make use of, remember this is going to be a peplum, and if you notice, peplums most times used to have folds. First of all, let me finish with this. So the circumference I'm working with is 34 inches. You divide by the number of folds. Number of folds is 4. Assuming it was 8, you'd have divided by 8, but the number of fold is 4. Fold is 4. So 34 divided into 4, the number of folds gave me 8.4. 8.45. Or let me just call it 8.5. But this thing is folded. Assuming you are dividing with your tape. This place where it's folded is where I'm going to be marking. So you are going to come to the tip. This is the tip of the folded, where the tip of the folded parts, these two parts that are not open. There is like the middle where the material is folded into two. This place. This place. So is the reference point. So you are going to mark that 8.5 round. Going to mark it round. Hope you can mark it round. Just rotate the tape while this one remains at the head. At this point, you rotate. Join. When you join it, you have something like this, like an arc. So you know now, in a peplum you usually have folds. At times you see peplum kissing print, at times you just see normal folds. So for that extra fold that we are going to have, just 2 kissing prints in front and 2 behind. For some people, they just want a print, while for some they want a kissing print, while for some they don't even want to fold it. So depending on what you want. So for that extra fold that we are going to be making, the kissing prints, we are going to be making in front and at the back. I'm also going to add extra 2 inches to this. So I'm just going to start from here and mark 2 inches round again. So this is it. So after doing this now, I will later cut this part off. The next thing now is to measure out the full length of your peplum. Remember, the half cut is 14 inches, 15 inches. I'm going to take out 1 inch for joining. So 14 inches, and I want the person wants the full length, the blouse, to be 23 inches long. So I'm going to add 9 inches. So 9 inches is going to be the length, but then I'm going to cut out 10 inches because I'll be joining. You'll be joining here, and then you'll be turning over with lining at the edge. So you need extra sewing allowance. So you measure from here, not from here again. We use here to determine the circumference, and once we get the circumference, we start from there to determine the length. So we are just going to mark it round again. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these lines. It's that simple. Just know how to get the fold correctly. So we are going to go ahead and cut out all we have. I'm cutting from here, not from here. And then I'll cut this one out. Remember, you cut from the outside of the line, not here. Here. When you are done cutting, you cut the length. So this is what we've got. This is what we've got. As you can see, it's a 180-degree flip. It's half a circle because of the number of folds we had. So I'm going to go ahead and trace it out on the lining. So I folded into 4, the same way I folded when I was about cutting. So you have 4 folds. This is the gum stick, hard one. because I intend it standing at least a little. If you want it to stand very well, you can attach a crinoline at the rim, but we are not using that. I'm just going to make use of the gum stay to cut it out. So I folded the lining the same way I folded the material before cutting. So it's into 4 folds now. I'm going to go ahead and use a pin to fasten it to the material so it doesn't shift while cutting. You can use 2 pins or 3 pins. The aim is just to hold it properly so it doesn't shift while cutting. Then I'm going to go ahead, trace it and cut it out. So I'm going to go ahead now and cut out the gum stay and attach it in between these 2 materials. That's the material and the lining. At times, if you want it to have to stand more, you can attach the gum stay both to the material and also attach it to the lining. And when you do that, it will of course have a stronger effect and it will stand more. Another way of doing it is by attaching crinoline. Just that we're not doing that now. We are not doing it today. Attaching crinoline to the hair, this place. When you are done, both applying your gum stay and attaching it to this, you apply it around this place just to make it stand the more. These are just ways of making the peplum stand. So I'm going to go ahead now and cut out and then attach, and then we'll come back and show you. So we are back from the sewing machine and I've turned in the material. We have this thing inside, the gum stay inside, and then this outside. Remember, this gum stay is to make it stand as much as it can. If you want it to stand more than this, then you can as well add your crinoline inside, just at the bottom here, while sewing together. You can add crinoline. So the next thing now is to attach the peplum to the half cuts. So you place it this way. I'm going to pin it first, then I will show you before going over to the sewing machine to do that. Right side facing right side. So you place it this way, and then you join. Each time you want to join, You know, this is peplum, and then you fold as much as you can, or you fold as you like. That was why we had that extra. That was why we had the extra allowance we added while trying to cut out the flay. So you have to fold as much as you like. So there's no special of doing it. It's just like when you are joining two materials, but this time around you can have prints, you can have kissing prints as much as you want. Go ahead and hold with a pin, and that's how I'm going to sew it. So this is how it will look after joining. And remember, like I said, you fold like you want, the way you want it. If you want kissing prints, fine. If you just want to fold it once, it's still okay. I folded mine once. So the next thing is I'm going to join it properly, because I used just a pins rather, to attach them. Let me go and join it. Okay, we are back from the sewing machine, and I've attached the peplum to the half cut, and this is what we have. This is what we have. So like I said, as you can see, it's standing a little. The customer doesn't want it to stand much. The stay gun was just to make it stand a little. If you want it to stand more than this, remember to add your crinoline inside. And then this is the back. I'm yet to attach the zip. As you can see, this is the zip allowance. I included it when making my calculation for the circumference. And so when I fold it in down like this, it becomes the zip allowance for this side. Then I fold it in down like this, it also becomes the zip allowance for this side. So if you have any question, do leave it in the comment section, and then we'll attach the sleeve. If you have any question, do leave it in the comment section. We'll attend to you. I'll attend to it as soon as possible. Please like, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel if you are yet to do so. Thank you so much for watching.